Hola. Okay, in this video, I'd like to begin by speaking about certain current events. Slight update on the trollers, dudes that I mentioned have been particularly, uh, what can I call it, ferocious online. Kind of coming at me and other certain members with these very almost violent kind of hateful messages, comments and such. Those sorts of people actually managed to turn a few of them around, and the way that it happened was so fucking hilarious. I'm telling these people that we're trying to bring out inspiration in people, we're trying to motivate people to be more creative and to invest in creativity and motivation, inspiration. And one of them sent me a hateful poem, a hate poem, and that cascaded. Others started doing the same thing, sending me hate poems, and they thought it was like a rebound joke, like they were making fun of me. But I mean, gotcha. You're being creative, aren't you? Now all you got to do is stop being offensive and start being motivational, and you'll find that the world will reward you for doing that. Whereas you're just kind of spending every little bit of energy that you can get your hands on to try and pull attention by hurting people. And let me tell you something, man, you ain't gonna hurt my feelings. Ain't a single one of you got what it takes to get through to me. I got a solid shell, 5x5. So try as you might. You're making me laugh here. Anyways, also with the ban on kratom, that's a big fucking deal. It's not just a personal thing to me because I use it, and it's important to me, and I know people that actually require it, but we all know people that require it, and even if they're not using it, if they do use it, then they require it, in that sense. But there are other people who we know that could require it, could make use of it. Anybody that's on drugs of any sort, really, anybody that's hooked on any drugs, get them on kratom. It will fix, it will cure them, and go ahead and look into it. Do all the research you want. The only negative findings that you're going to come across out there on internet land is going to come straight from the DEA or the Pharmaceutical Corps. You're not going to find any, I mean, there is rock solid proof, scientific evidence, studies, research, experimentation showing us that this is a purely beneficial substance. And they're trying to steal it from us because they want us in the muck. They can see that we're fighting back. They're watching us, man. They are watching us. We're small. We're not a big deal right now, so to speak. I mean, we're a highly influential presence. We've already accomplished that. We are a very highly influential presence in the community, in the larger community. But there are a lot of people watching us and noticing, taking notice. Spotters out there that are directing their own organizations that can see what we're doing and are getting pointers from us because it is in fact the case that we are our association here, our organization of peoples are some of the most learned and some of the most valid sources of information here. We know our shit. We got this down. We've been at it for a long time. We got our shit down pat, and people are taking the lead, or people are taking following up. But for the most part, we're a small organization. We're not a whole hell of a lot yet, but they can see that we're influential. They are watching us, and they can see that we're networking, and we've managed to capture their interest and their attention. We've arrested their attention here, and they are, in fact, they know that they know what we require. They're going to try to cut off our resources. They're going to try and put us down. They're going to try and fight back. They're going to be ahead of the game. They have many people working with them just like me. Now I'm here basically alone. I have my team, the A team that's become the directive. I have 13, now 14 people that are very influential, very strong natured people. I have the two representatives from Uganda that are exceptionally influential, strong fucking people with high grade value systems. And we're kicking it at sixth gear here, but I mean, essentially it's me directing everything right now. The others haven't quite picked up to the point where they're taking the lead yet, and these people have There's no telling how many versions of me that they have working on their side. So they're going to be way ahead of the game here, and they're going to pull out all the stops. They're not going to let us just roll over and make peace. They're not going to roll over and allow for us to just go around making people motivational and inspiring people. That can't be had, not on their watch. I'll tell you what, you who's watching, go ahead, man. We win. Hurt us all you like. We're trying to help you. We are here to help you. I mean, I'm sorry to say it. I hate to break the news if you don't quite get it, but you're wrong. Flat out. I mean, I'm not going to say there's good and evil. I've already told you I don't believe in that shit. And I don't even really believe in right and wrong. It's a matter of opinion. But I'm going to tell you that my opinion, my solid opinion that you're never going to change, is that you're wrong. You are corrupting everything. And if you don't see that, if you don't understand that our people, our relationships, our emotional values, our consistency, and our solidarity is more important than the money you're making, you've been doing this for a long time. Where has it gotten you? Where are we? Shit just keeps getting worse, and you're making it happen. And I'm watching you too, and not on my watch. You don't have to kill me to stop that. And you know what's going to happen if you do. So, it was ahead of who? Anyways, also we're working on the campaign for the fundraising for Uganda people for the famine, and that's slow going and it's really tough. And I can tell you that with this ban on the kratom going through, and that one essential resource, in fact, is a detriment to us. It's going If they knock out that resource, everything else is going to get terribly difficult to accomplish. And of course, we're going to have people falling back to addictions, and it's just that's a knockout blow. That's a sucker punch at the apex of the battle, and that's what they're doing right now. So anybody that's watching, get up and fight, man. Sign the petitions, donate. I told you I'm not going to ask you for money, and that's why I don't want to really post the petition, the fundraising campaigns for the AKA and such, but I will. I'm going to, because I had a talk with one of our what you would call one of our senior faculty members, found one of the founders, Sir David Schuster Tucker, very very good friend, my brother. I love him deeply. He's always got my back, and he's always he's always stepping up to get my back when I need it. I love you dearly, David. If you watch this, I know you don't have a lot of time on your hands, but when you get around to it, that's another thing I've got to keep you guys updated on, is that what I'm saying now, when I get to you guys, I mean, it's obvious common sense that this is recorded beforehand, but a lot of the things that I do when I talk to you guys on Messenger, and posting these videos and everything, the songs even, I do have a pretty good by heart sense of your level of interaction, each of you respectively, and how the not exactly, but pretty well down how long, what amount of time it's going to take each of you to actually, see what I'm saying and respond. And, you all fluctuate. You all have different temperaments regarding when you're going to check in and when you're going to react. And I do have a pretty good feel for that. So for most of you, some of you that are on point here, I'm speaking to you directly, and we're in the game right now. Let's keep that ball in play. But most of you, this is everything that you're getting, especially on Messenger and through text, is from the past. That's me in the past. I do have a sense of how long it's going to take to get through to you and get you to react. So the things that I'm posting and the things that I'm sending you, the things that I'm saying, this is in advance. And if you're on point and you take the cues, everything's going to fall together. But you got to do that. And as I've said before, take the responsibility for this, and the world will give you the power to do that. Actively take upon yourself, own the responsibility for working with this movement, this revolution, this organization, towards freeing our minds, freeing our souls, freeing ourselves from everything that's trying to hold us down, the people that have been holding us down for so long. And we're not against the people. Again, we don't have a real enemy except for their motivations, their desire to put us down, their necessity to hold us back and to steal from us and to take from us and to just jeopardize our lives and take away our ability to designate our own authority, take away our power to be who we really are. That's what we're fighting against. We're not fighting against any people. The people are just confused. All of you that are watching that are some of those people, you're just confused. You don't know what you're doing. It's like Jesus said on the cross, forgive them for they don't know not what they do. You guys are those people. You guys are those people. And everybody that's on board here, that's with us, that's watching and is not responding, all of you that neglect to act and do not take action and do not get into this fight, you're those people too. You're bystanders. You know what's right. You know what you need to do. You know what needs to be done here. And it is critical. We are at a point in our evolution as a species right now where this is a critical move. This is very important. We are deciding what's going to happen for the entirety of our future right now. And if we let these confused people win, we won't really have much of a future. It's going to be quick. It's going to be hard. It's going to go downhill. It's going to go very south very quickly. Things are going to get really bad, and then it's just going to be over. And I'm calling it now. All you guys have to do is take action. It could be something as simple as starting a discussion. It could be something as simple as posting an artwork that might, you post a picture or you post a crafty little thing or you post a poem that could contain the values that unlock another person's entire destiny. You have no idea how influential you can really be with just very, very little effort. And it doesn't take a whole hell of a lot of time. It doesn't take a whole hell of a lot of effort. It's something that you can do very easily and you can affect massive amounts of people. I affect groups of people in an enormous way on a daily basis just by getting, and yes, I put a lot into it. But guess what? I feel really good about it. I mean, I'm not pulled down. This isn't a hamper to me. I'm not having difficulty with this. The more that I do it, the better I get at it. The more excellence I exude, the more the world rewards me for it. The more energy I have, the more time I'm able to build. However, right now I am kind of running out of time, most especially due to this kratom ban, which we need to get on board with and fight. Sign the petitions. If you have extra money and you give a shit about people getting hooked on drugs, if you give a shit about the future of our race, fucking send the American Kratom Association $25 or something. It's not a lot to ask, but it is a big, big deal. It's not a whole hell of a lot to ask for some of you who have the extra funding, and it can affect the world. Who knows that your $25 might be the $25 that puts us over the line and saves our asses. Anyone out there that's thinking that this is a drug issue in and of itself, that people are dependent upon this resource and that that's the only reason, yes, that is the case. People are dependent on this resource, and if they take it away, those people are going to crash, and those are our people. It sucks that people have to be dependent on these resources, but that is the fact of the matter. That's what's happening. So in this video, I'm going to discuss the habits, the addiction factor, as it were, which, that's what Dave and I talked about. He hasn't gotten back to me to tell me precisely what his mapping of it was yet, so I'm going to go ahead and wing it. Because I don't have the time to wait for him. Sorry, Dave. But it's a cycle of, necessity, fear, greed, fear of loss. These are the same tactics that we use as negotiators in my business. And these people are using it against us in a negative manner. All of this is the same thing. Everybody's using the same programming methods. It's like the Force, again, like in Star Wars. If you're a Star Wars fan, I kind of lost track of it a while back, but it's very much like the Force and like Jedi's. Our tradition inspired Star Wars. That's where it came from. The force is this ability to comprehend and to communicate with the world and to create responses in others, create associations and relationships, and essentially program other people effectively. It is a manipulation, but it has to be done. It's a necessity. It's not something we try not to be invasive here, and we're not being invasive with you. These people are being invasive. These people are imposing themselves on you. We're asking, and we're telling you straight up exactly what we're doing and why. You know, you guys, you've been programmed to have this habitual addiction routine, this selectivity in your consciousness where all that you care about, you have these very short spans of attention that you put forth into the world because you're robbed. You're robbed of your time by these people. You're forced to work for lower wages, work higher, more hours for lower wages. You're forced to work in the rat race, paycheck to paycheck, barely surviving, having a job, job, fucking just over broke. You're forced to live in this routine where it's basically an idea of consumption of requisite, what you require, what you need, weighed upon what you want, what you desire, and they push both of these on you at the same time. That they kind of they achieve a fusion in a sense between what you require and what you desire, insofar as to make it seem as though what you desire is required. And so you begin to believe that you need these things because other people have them. It's a fear of loss tactic. It's a greed tactic. Is that if other people have this shit, you see commercials about, the latest sneakers or the best TV around, and your neighbor's got it and you don't, you feel less. You feel like you're less because you don't have these objects. I have 3 telephones. That's it. And I do all of this with them. I have 3 telephones. I have a sword and 2 sticks. Those are basically my belongings. I have a pile of clothes that I really don't even wear most of it. As you can see, I tend to wear the same things repeatedly because I like what I like and I don't want to change it. But, um, I barely have enough food to survive. I don't make it along. Things aren't going very well financially, resourcefully, and these people are cutting down my resources, reducing my ability to manage. They're killing me, and they're killing a lot of other people. And it's basically this selectivity routine that's hitting us hardest, and it's been happening for a long, long time. This is not new. It's just that it's been happening for so long that you don't even know it's happening anymore. It's just commonplace that you know you're going to die. You know that your life's going to end. You have a certain amount of time to manage everything. You're constantly bombarded with things that you want, and you're made to believe that you require these things because of greed tactics, fear of loss tactics, manipulation tactics that make you believe that you require something that you don't. At the same time, you actually do require certain things to survive, such as food sources and maybe chemical substances that are required. Prescriptions, holy shit, the cost of prescriptions. You fucking believe that shit, my God. I mean, they're dragging you, they're stealing, they're robbing every fucking thing from you all the time. And they're jacking it up all the time. They're making it more and more difficult to just manage to survive. And they're making it impossible for you to have enough time to build a, a, a concept of your own spiritual, so to speak, your own emotional and spiritual investment in the world, what you actually care about. Most of us don't even have things we care about anymore. We don't really care about anything. Any of you take notice that you check in on this page, but you don't really have the motivation to act? Why do you think that is? Because you don't have care. You don't you don't have the energy in you to care enough to act on it. If you feel if your excuse is you don't have the time, you can make the time. You can make the time, and it's an important thing. And it's not only important because of what we're doing, because of what we're attempting to accomplish here, what we actually need to accomplish here. It's important because it's a factor of your life that's missing. You feed your body food. Most of us feed our body shit, junk food all the time, you know? Bad shit. And it makes us what we are. You are what you eat. That's not a bullshit, that's not a fucking uh, anecdote. It's you are what you eat. What you put in your body is going to make your body what it is and provide your body with the capacity. What you eat is not providing actual energy. It's giving you fuel that allows for your body to create the capacity for energy. The fuel that you consume, materially speaking, is it's and one thing I wanted to mention real quick about this, most of us have been exposed to biblical scriptures and Christianity and such, whereas we think that the apple is the fruit from the tree in Eden. And so that's one aspect that is going to be attached to that value for most people. And you don't know what's happening. Again, this is subconscious programming, but a lot of people are going to look at this fruit in their mind somewhere in the back of it is going to think there's something wrong with it, that it's evil because or they're going to think that it's a delight, it's a particular delight, and it's a tempting delight, like a sin sensation, like you're getting over on God somehow. If you know what I'm saying, in a manner of speaking, it has these various aspects attached to that value. That's another example, and that's a big example. People who have been exposed to biblical scriptures, people who have been exposed to any religious scriptures growing up throughout their formative years, so to speak. I mean, your whole life is your formative years. The only reason that you stop programming and forming and creating and building yourself at a certain point is because there are people out there jacking your ability to. They're ganking your time. They're making it impossible for you to develop and evolve. You do not stop evolving at any point. That's bullshit. That's a hoax. Your body doesn't start forming. You don't have formative years throughout, your childhood and then suddenly just stop and are hardwired. If that were the case, I'd be living in a hole, drinking myself half to death every night in terrible pain, whining about shit that's happened in the past. It's not true. I'm living proof of it. You can rewire your brain. You can constantly evolve. You have, and it's an advantage. You have this advantage, and we're giving you the opportunity to apply this advantage. That we're giving you free training. We're giving you a free training ground where you can come out and interact with each other anytime, get active, and you can practice this, and you can build energy. And again, where I was getting at before is that's a spiritual aspect. You feed your body, it fuels your ability to maintain a certain capacity of energy, which is actually formed emotionally, spiritually. You have energy, you have a care because of your emotional value system, which is the reality of who and what you are. The the soul or the mind, whichever way you want to say it, is defined as being a concept, an idea. The body is defined as being a concept or idea given form, an abstract idea given a form that is perceivable as an active reality. And then the spirit, or what they have the terms confused. For us, soul and mind are the same thing. For the foundation, soul and mind are one. Then there's a body, which is any body, any form, any organism, any physical aspect, anything that's physical. And the mind, it does have physical factors, and everything is the mind. We're all in one big giant mind right now, giant dream. And then the spirit is the reality. The spirit is the emotional, it's the core. It's whatever is real. It's that something, that God figure that we all have some sense of belief in. Even people who claim to be atheists, how can you be an atheist if you don't believe that there's a concept of God? It's another tricky impossibility that you come, and atheists are probably closer to the edge than most people, just innately. Atheists are living at nearer to the boundary because they're approaching that impossibility factor where you can't really be an atheist without an existing God. It's necessary. So I mean, you're by claiming that you do not believe there's an existing God, you are pronouncing the fact that there indeed is, and it's living in you. It is you. You have decided that for yourself, and that decision, that power of decision, is what God truly is. Kamwiasi. It's the shifting glyphs. It's your ability to manipulate reality. It's your ability to create a destiny. Your ability to have a body and to form your concepts and ideas into a concrete reality is what God is. It's the power of heaven. And we're all a part of it. And that emotion, that's the battery, that's the charge to it. And mind you, I can see where we're failing here, where our, you know, in some respects where we have difficulty. I'm not going to say that we're failing. We're actually doing pretty well right now. We're in an up cycle right now. Things are going fairly well, and anybody that's watching this, jump aboard, take advantage of it. You know, you've got an upswing of energy. All you have to do is catch that drift, jump on, and it's going to boost you. It's going to uplift you. You know, get active here, interact with each other, make things happen, and you're going to notice that you're going to feel better about yourself, about your life. You're going to feel more free, clearer. You know, your thoughts are going to be more pronounced. You're going to have more presence and more motivation, more inspiration. You're going to feel more present and have more power. And that's what we're giving you. That's what we are providing you, fucking free of charge. So I mean, go ahead and take advantage of it, or don't. You know, sit there and watch and remain exactly the same, and believe that there's no way for you to evolve and become more efficient in life. Believe that there's no way for you to affect a change in the world. And guess what? You're not going to. And if enough of you do that, we lose, and shit just goes to hell. If enough of you do it, and any one of you could be the one that tips it over, any one of you could cause a domino effect that causes for many others to jump in just by just by posting a fucking simple comment or a picture, a poem, or anything. And some of you guys are active, and a lot of you guys are helpful on Messenger and working on the projects, and I'm grateful for that. I'm not trying to be a bitch about it. I mean, it is. We should be a lot further along here. We're wasting a lot of time. We're doing pretty fucking well, but at the same time, we're we're consistently falling back because we haven't hit that critical mass yet, and that's what we're trying to do. We need to get just enough of you active and enough of you caring and considerate enough to be consistently active for this to pop and it to take charge. And one of the reasons, if Cheeks actually watches this, I know she doesn't have a lot of time either, but that's the fight we're in. Make time. Fight to make time. Fight to your time is being stolen from you. Fight to get it back. That's what we're doing. Cheeks, you're our battery. You're our summoner. You're not as involved as you used to be, and we're losing ground because of it. You're the emotional factor. Remember, you're the power. And any one of you out there that's a red, I don't know if you guys are still familiar with the I'll have to make a color-coded personality profiling video for you, but anyone that of you out there that's a red, you can affect huge change here. Any one of you out there that think you might be a purpler, fuck me, there's no telling how far you can go with this. You guys have a lot of power you put into this. Essentially, greens and blues, myself and Boob, we're here just to serve a purpose. We're here to serve a function. It's the task of you guys to jump in and direct us, show us where to go, give us something to work with, and we work it. And that's how we all get into organization here. But right now, for most of us, we are living in this habit of addiction that, you know, we feel as though we need something we don't really need. And there's a cycle of, well, we need to get it immediately. We need instant gratification because we don't have enough time. And so that trains our brains to have a short attention span because we want instant gratification. We don't want to invest into things, which is love. Investment is love. That's the concrete reality, and we are lacking it. These habits that we exist with, these habits that we've learned to live with, that we're trained to live with, we're programmed to live with these habits that are causing for us to lack reality, lack love, to give up on life, to just be monotonous machines, serving, you know, routines that do not serve us, that propose to serve the greater good, but that's not the case. It's serving a war machine, serving a division concept. That's, people that want to steal from you. They don't know what they're doing. They're confused. They've been programmed. They've been hardwired to just take from you, to steal from you, and you're trapped in this pattern of consumption, you know, requisite, necessity, consumption, demise. And it's just this constant pattern. There's the soul, matter, and ether. There's the mind, the body, and the spirit. And you can use this in various ways. The thought, word, and deed. These tools that you have, you can use them in various ways. But we're all living with this programmed habit of we think we need something that we don't. We have evidence of it. We have commercials. We have media telling us, speaking to us, and we speak back that we want it. It's telling us that we need it. That's the word that's going around. That's the word on the street. And then the deed is go ahead and do that. Instant gratification. Jump on the train. Do a line of coke. Fucking buy the latest tennis shoes. Get that video game and just kind of and video games are awesome. They're the coolest form of media that's available. Being able to actually be interactive with a story and engage the values that are presented, although a lot of them don't really have any deeper values and they're just bullshit. They're just distractions. Like, running around and shooting people and then just, you know, dopey, cartoony things that don't really matter much. Although, of course, those could have hidden values for certain people in them. It's very tricky how this works. But, I mean, some video games have excellent stories that contain a lot of deeper values that can give you, things to work with that are awesome for life. And it's a solid investment to play these video games, to watch movies and such. But for crying out loud, if that's all you're doing, if you're spending all your time running in circles shooting people, you're spending all your time, you know, just vegging out on the television screen, that we were warned about this. We long time ago, we were warned that this was going to happen, that people were going to start to get screened out, and we were going to have to fight hard to get people out of those screens and back into reality. And of course, this whole project, this whole program is based via internet right now for the most part. I mean, we all interact, conglomerate via internet, and so yeah, we're screened out to a certain degree too. But we're fighting for something. We're working towards something. Everybody who does become aware of the fact that you are addicted to this and that it's something that's chewing up all your time, you gotta make an operative decision about the difference between what's wasting your time and what's utilizing it. This program is utilizing your time. This program is investing your time into something that's going to affect a positive change for you and for everybody else. This investing in this is a solid investment. Other things that you might do, like just stupid whatever they're called, the what are they called, memes, like the memes on Facebook or Snapchat or what have you. I haven't checked into the other ones. I obviously Facebook is pretty much what I deal with here, but Messenger and such. But uh, these memes, these boring, ridiculous memes that they give you an instant gratification, laugh or two, perk you up for a half a second. The cat videos, all the distractions that you have out there, those are sinks. Those are what we call grounds. They're not providing you a charge. They're stealing your energy. That's what they're there for. That's why they were invented, to steal your attention, to steal your energy, and to sink you. There are grounds and there are investments. You got to learn to spot the difference between what is a ground, what is trapping you, what is pulling you down, and what is giving you a free charge, which is what we're doing. We're giving you a free charge. We're offering you a free boost, and we're offering you a platform and a direction in which to place it. We're offering you effectively a manner by which to take the reins on your destiny and reshape it, to gain power, to gain ground, to enhance yourself dramatically, very quickly, not instantaneously. It's not going to be your regular average instant gratification thing. It requires a little bit of investment, and that is in fact the purpose. That's that is the ground behind this, is that it requires a little bit of investment, because that investing, that sense of responsibility is what is going to tell the world, hey, I'm taking charge here, boost me, and the world's going to back you. That's how it works. That's how the laws of attraction work. That's how time mechanics functions. You need to learn to communicate with the environment, with yourself, and with the world, because even yourself at the deepest level is still disconnected from what you really are. You need to learn to communicate with yourself. You need to spot these habits, these routines that are, draining your charge, that are dragging you, grounding you, pulling you down, and eliminate them. Just every time you spot a routine, especially a depressive emo routine, like I'm gonna be sad about something, I'm gonna whine, I'm gonna be depressive, I'm gonna post depressing things. Why would you post something depressive for other people to see? Do you want to bring other people down? Is that your intention? If you feel bad, so you want to make others feel bad too, just stop. That's all that you need to do. Every time you get to that point where you want to do something like that, where you want to take action in a negative manner, stop. Scratch it, change your mind, say, I'm going to be excellent instead, and start breaking those habits. And that's going to be the primary, that's the first level on this tier of working alchemy, essentially, and spot casting eventually, and the intermediary being time mechanics itself, is to spot these routines that are negative, damaging, that are dragging you down, dragging us all down, that are causing you to drag other people down. Spot those, stop. Scratch them, eliminate them, retrain yourself to be excellent instead. Retrain yourself to stop, turn it around, take charge, and be positive. Maintain a positive mental attitude. Try to eliminate the habits that are pulling you down. That's going to be the first level of working alchemy for a lot of us, because a lot of us are on that level where we are habitually programmed and stuck in these routines. So that's the first thing you're going to do. The next level after that is going to be learning to actually operatively program your system to do what you want it to, rather than what it's been told to. And we'll get to that later. But for now, I need you guys to do that. A perfect example of it is every time that you see something on this page, on the initiative page, that's interesting to you, or you have an idea and you decide against sharing it, stop. Say, I'm going to fucking do that instead. I'm going to put myself forth. I'm going to step up on stage and I'm going to kick ass. And guess what? You're going to get rewarded for it every single time. So give it the program here, guys. Wake up. Snap to. We need to move faster. We're losing time here. I'm losing time personally. We're all losing time here. So while we are in an up cycle, we're also kind of in a rut at the same time. So please, let's do this. Kila Salai, Terveune Siari, Namaste. Thank you all for the time. I'll see you soon.